What's a secret you've kept for years that would change everything if people found out? Here's mine. I was 17 when I found out my mom wasn't who I thought she was. And I don't mean metaphorically. I mean, literally. It started when I needed my birth certificate to apply for a job. She handed me a folder like it was no big deal, but I noticed something off. The last name wasn't hers. It wasn't mine, either. It was someone I'd never heard of. I asked her about it. She got quiet. Then she said, "We'll talk about it later." But later never came. So I did what any overly anxious teenager with internet access would do. I searched. I dug. And eventually, I found her real name. It turns out, she legally changed it when I was 4. Along with mine. I found court documents buried in an old database. It didn't make sense. She always said my dad left us. But the court records said something different. They said custody was revoked. No explanation. Just that phrase, stamped in bold red letters. I remember staring at that screen for hours, wondering what could have happened so badly that a father would lose all rights, and that a mother would erase everything about their shared life. So I kept digging. And I found something that still makes my stomach turn. An old article. Buried in a regional news archive. Local man arrested for endangering minor. No charges filed. It was my father's name. The date matched the year we left. There were no details. But there didn't have to be. I knew. I never brought it up. Not to my mom. Not to my grandparents. Not to anyone. Because suddenly, the silence made sense. The avoidance. The fake smiles. The "we don't talk about your dad." But here's the part that keeps me up at night. Last year, my aunt pulled out an old photo album. And there he was. Holding me. Smiling. She said, "You were such a daddy's boy. He used to sing to you every night." And I didn't know what to say. Because that version of him only exists in her memories. Not in mine. I've spent years wondering who he really was. A criminal? A man who made one mistake? A victim of something even worse? The truth is locked away behind legal walls and old wounds no one wants to reopen. And my mom? She still thinks I don't know. She tells me, "One day I'll explain everything." But I think she's protecting me in the only way she knows how. With silence. I've carried this secret alone for 7 years. And sometimes I wonder if knowing the truth would help or destroy me. Because some truths don't set you free. They just shift the weight. So I keep pretending. I nod when people ask about my dad and say he wasn't around. But deep down, I wonder if I should have asked harder. Or maybe, accepted the silence for what it was, a shield. If you've ever lived with a truth you can't share, I see you. And I hope someday, you find peace with it, even if answers never come.